Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I would like to say hello, Liberia, and a pleasant welcome to Women's Spotlight. Of course, we're live on Freedom 87.9 FM. However, when you're joining us, we'd like to say welcome as today's presentation promises to be amazing, insightful, I also like to say happy Women's Month to all of you as we're celebrating the International Women's Day in this month. We had a technical issue earlier on. I would like to say welcome back and stick and stay with us as Women's Spotlight has a lot to offer you on today's presentation. My name is Princess Alexa Avenger calling, and I would like to say welcome. Do not forget to play the win Liberia giveaway on Freedom FM star 255 star 1 hash. $100 Liberian dollars or 50 cents, and stand a chance to win from 5,000 Liberian dollars up to 25,000 Liberian dollars. Today we talk tourism, we talk youth representation, and a lot more that's happening in this country. We're also going to continue our publicity on the March 12, 2026 peaceful march to say no to rape and no to sodomy in Liberia. Tatos Pakala is handling that. I'm creative, I'm brilliant, I'm female, and more. But today we play host to an amazing Liberian woman, a young woman, by the way. A lot of you may know her. Some of you may not know her, but she is our guest right here today on Women's Spotlight. So, however it is for you, you're going to listen to her. So, I'd like to say welcome back again. We're going to take a very, very short break, and when we get back to you, we're going to basically have our studio guest in studio with us. But before that, I also like to say Women's Spotlight is proudly sponsored by Crown Shoppers Liberia. And as always, we're saying to you, do not take the laws into your own hands. Whatever happens in your community, reach out to law enforcement officers to be able to have these different issues sorted out. So I'd like to take a very short break. Are we ready for that? And after that, we're going to get back to you. I'm here alongside my producer, Abraham Kamara, the DJ's hero. And I'm also being assisted by DJ's Mathis right here, who has an event coming up March 15. So get ready, okay? Do we have it? I have power to be anything. I am short, I am more than this. Yeah, baby, when they got we got oh no. When they got we got them. Oh no, oh no. When they got we got them. Oh no, oh no. When they got we got them. Oh no, oh no.
God made him overstanding. We had enough time to suggest that God was understanding. It's like he took a piece of the sun and the wind and the run. Made him gorgeous, he was having some fun. Yeah, sun kissed, king glowing. Ranging from my lattice and the melanin they popping. Beauty from the office is all the way to the market. They step out in the streets and they be steady causing ruckus. It ain't just about the beauty though. Let's talk about resilience. Even last out as a showcase their intelligence. That we should respect instead of sexualizing them. Treat them with some courtesy instead of victimizing them. More than just match and dress and program and JT movies. Woman, I want to say you're getting crazy. I choose to focus on the positivity, focus on the strengths, focus on your capabilities. My Ellie, that's the ultimate Liberian girl. Went from language in jail straight to winning the bell. Yeah, from prison to president, the biggest role model for a girl. She's elegant. Joy Howard Taylor, Madam Vice President, Sarah Business, that's the leader of the foreign cabinet. Talking about that gay nigga. I'm talking about the minister that got the fire with that girl. Social media saying your husband's so very lucky. And so will be the nigga who will marry black coffee. And we tell you we might not see eye to eye, but if you spell where I live when you in front of every job, despite all the negativity and attacks in your family, you show maturity and left the whole chaos family. I see a nigga out there doing the thing. My real G, one of the most beautiful that I've seen. And Fluxy, yeah, what can I say? The devil tried to steal your girl, but you ain't got the place. Cornelia and Mariah are on opposite sides, but I respect the both of them, but with the fight and the fight. My girl Tuesday is a inspiration, an example of what happens with focus and dedication. Sandra Olu, my own sister, a hell of an influencer, and Wilhelmina to be the next Mr. Biro. Master Queen, you have left a legacy. Now continue by Alexa P and Tassie MC. And nothing will do you, I let it really kick ass for good. When this mama, you give me see like we rock legend. And Valerie Name, I appreciate your good heart, respect your business, my big Jew, you play the big part. The show me share what's life without the little controversy. And Russia Day, I hope you find true love and start a family. Shout out to DJ Finest, you were there from the beginning. And even though we fell out, you deserve appreciation. And Tama Thompson, that girl is going international. Wookie Dooley made a name for life that's still raising her. Hills of the morning, you should make a song this year. The mission love, man, your bread is bigger every year. You've been a silly, your hustle and Tyrus, I love you all. And to my mama, Jacinta, I love you most of all. To all the other beautiful and brilliant women that I left out. The older the picture is not a song, it doesn't just out. Keep raising the bar, keep flying the flag and take Liberia far. Yes. When they got me down, oh no. When they got me down, oh no, oh no. When they got me down, oh no, oh no. When they got me down, oh no, oh no.
Would like to say welcome back to Women's Spotlight. However, you join us, would like to say welcome back. And of course, we have our guests with us in studio. And we're going to go straight into the discussion of the day. My producer keeps pushing something to me. I don't know, but if you're out there, make sure you dial *255*1# and play the Freedom Win Liberia cash giveaway. $100 Liberian dollars or 50 cents, and stand a chance to win 5,000 Liberian dollars up to 25,000 Liberian dollars. Marvis will be here later on. Earlier on, you had Abraham Kamara, who is my producer, the veteran DJ's hero. He's here with us. Now we have Miss Mariama Tusi Ture. I said earlier on, a lot of you know her because she's into a lot of different things. And if you're into advocacy or activism, you also know her from that angle. And at one time, she was also part of it's a Face of Painesville. So she has been around, okay? And she was recently appointed on the youth advisory board with the president. I'll be more in studio today. So we're going to have a lot to talk about today because we want to know more about what's happening with her professionally, and we also want to know how far is it with youth representation, because she has been one of the vibrant voices I remember a few years back, and she continues to still do that. So I'd like to say welcome to Women's Spotlight, and it is a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much, Alexia. It's a pleasure to be here, actually.
How's the fast?
It's going, it's going fine.
Okay, so you know, Tusi managed to get here. She's actually fasting, so we're going to take it very easy because you know how it is with Ramadan. So we have to be calm and just do everything we can do possibly to have a an amazing time on the radio. So there are people listening to you. Some of them know you, some of them do not. So who is Tusi Toure? That's the name I knew prior to getting to know the Mariam. I was always used to Tusi Toure. So who is Tusi Toure?
Mariam Matizi Toure, a Liberian, born here, born in Bomi County actually, and I'm an activist still. I own a tourism excursion business called Tuesday and Afrique,
Uh-huh.
and I am currently serving on the President Youth Advisory Council. And what else? The younger one. That's it. Basically, yeah, that's it.
Okay, so I'd like us to go back a little bit. You are still an activist, and I started knowing you from that angle actually. So you're still an activist, by the way, but you've had different transitions. From activism, you're now involved with the tourism as well, which is going very well because we see some of the things you do on the social media and how you try your best or you do your best to showcase some of our different historic sites that will attract tourists to this country as well as investors who are interested in historical sites in this country to invest more. So that is like something that's very, very amazing. So at what point did you really think about transitioning from one point to another? Or at what point did you think about just incorporating everything that you are into what you're doing now?
Okay, so for me, I am really big on social justice. So I got my first degree in criminal justice,
Mhm.
and I did my master's in justice, peace, and cohesion. So bulk of the things I did in masters was, to find a balance between the different things we are confronted with in
Mhm.
society. So being someone that is actually big on social justice, I just don't advocate for a particular thing. I advocate for different causes that affects people. So at a point, we had a serious problem with FGM.
Mhm.
Yeah, I used to be one of the frontline advocates for that. And then another point, we had serious problem with early childhood marriage. At that time, I got appointed or I got nominated to serve as the ambassador to end early childhood marriage.
Mhm.
I work with Plan International on that and that of the African Union. So from there, coming up, we realized like early childhood marriage is actually rape, and rape leads to different
Oh
things
yeah.
that women are faced with. So
Mhm.
you cannot be advocating for early child marriage and advocating for X, Y, and Z and not going to the root cause of what it is.
Mhm.
So instead of just saying, "Oh, I'm an early child marriage advocate," I just said, okay, I'm just not one advocate. I
Yeah.
am an activist that see the things people are faced with in society. And since I have a platform, a huge platform, I don't even know how I got that platform, but some way, somehow,
Yeah.
yeah. And since I have this platform, instead of just sitting and doing nothing with it, I would rather just speak about things that affects people and find a solution. So from 2013 up until 2022, I was involved with frontline advocacy like that.
Yeah.
But then at a point in life, you have to understand you need to step back for other people to come on. Because you cannot be the only person who only say advocacy,
Yeah.
and you're not giving the other people any chance to want to advocate too. So I think you have realized that there are a lot of new people,
Yeah. New
new
faces, new
faces,
voices.
and they have different, perspective about how things are supposed to be done. So I'm still an advocate, but I'm just in the back watching the new faces do what they can do and still being able to support at any point in time that they will need my support.
Okay, that being said, March 12th, 2026, there is a planned a peaceful march, and you're in Liberia, so obviously sometimes I see different things you share on the social media, especially when it comes to all these cool arts in the country. we've had a lot of reported sexual violence cases, sodomy, rape, and a lot more. So you have hundreds of young people, and they're planning a peaceful March 12th. Are you going to be a part of that?
Definitely.
I trust you.
Definitely. Like the one that was organized against the guy from Ministry of Youth and Sports, Black
Yes,
O'Brien.
yes.
I was part of that
Yeah,
protest.
I saw
So any
your
protest that
baptism.
have to do with a just cause, you always find me around it. Yeah.
Okay, so there you have it. Because people know asking me, oh, when I say I'm having Tuesday in studio, but it's it. You're sure Tuesday is still an activist, so you listen to her, and I think that has already been cleared. Now we move to tourism, and I also like to say congratulations because when we had actual speed in Liberia, oh my God! Just before you entered this studio, my producer was saying Tuesday was looking tired that day, but stronger. And I was like, yeah, because you had a lot of people all around, but you still managed, to have delivered, and that was really, really amazing. Congratulations on, on that huge milestone for you. So, how was it like? You know, you're into tourism now. You take Liberians different places, Nimba, Cape Mount, or all the different places we have, beautiful places we have in this country. You are showcasing Liberia, on a different note. And tourism has become something that a lot of people are now seeing because before people would just go ahead and do pictures. You wouldn't have a lot of, explanation as to how significant this is. And now you have a platform that you are using to bring that part of our country, that part of our culture to us, and not just to us, but to also international, nationals to just know that Liberia is beyond just the 14 years of civil war we had, and Liberia is also just beyond our hospitality, but we have a lot more to offer. So, at what point did you think, like, hey, I think I want to make this 100%, even though you studied something, masters? And at what point did you think that you actually wanted to share that passion of yours with us? And on that note, I also like to know how was it when you were the tour guide for Ashes Speed?
So actually being the tour guide for Astro Speed, that was something I did not imagine was going to happen anytime soon
Uh-huh.
because I just started the tourism like for people to start
Yeah,
noticing it.
yeah.
So that is I don't want to say that's for now that is the biggest, and it was chaotic because that's the most people have ever dealt
Okay,
with.
you were smaller, did then you sound like everybody.
Yeah, that's the most crowd I have ever dealt with, especially to the Providence Island.
Oh my
There
God.
was a kid that almost, when
Yeah.
everybody were running, and then I had to go there to get that kid. Literally, the securities forgot that I was the
You
tour
said
guide.
don't jump.
No, I would get to that point. The securities forgot that I was the tour guide. The
Oh
only
my
thing they were
God.
concerned about was how to save speed and how to
Yeah.
save me. But then because of the crowd, they
Ooh.
could not. And then I was trying to make sure nobody jump in and walk over
Yeah.
the kid.
Yeah.
I look at my phone. I look at my I'm like, but then the phone gotta go. But then when I try to film, people step on it and stuff. It was just
Oh.
the screen protector.
Yeah.
We had problem, but then I was able to get the kid. Thinking that was just the most chaotic one. No. Then my clients, I like
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
going down with my client. I've been told, please make sure this man is safe 100% because anything happened to him, it reflects on me first
Yeah.
before the country.
Yeah.
And knowing the kind of country we are in,
Uh,
our hospitals are far apart, one,
yeah.
to get ambulance, or even I was just like, Father God, this man should not jump. That what you saw, I was saying, no jumping, please. But then he
Yeah.
was able to handle that.
That boy
Yeah.
is chaotic
He's
on his
daring
own.
though. He did that, and I was like, okay.
At least
Yes.
nothing
Then when
happened.
we were leaving from there, we should have made a stop to Macklin Street.
Mhm.
But prior, because all the locations got leaked prior to
Oh
the day.
Jesus.
That's why
So
you
you
saw
already
it was
had a lot
chaotic.
of people there.
Yeah.
Oh
It
Jesus.
should have been a stuff where the guy walked up this very calm to what he wanted to do.
And
When he
the
see,
people he meets there, obviously
yes,
they're there in
yes.
the moment.
But then a blogger posted that
Oh.
the location, all of the locations prior to the day. So that made
Oh
it extremely
yeah.
difficult for us. So from Providence Island, we were supposed to come to Macklin Street where he would be able to shop in there for regular Liberian and to get that experience
You
and
been down
to Fracala, to other
Wow.
things, push the wheelbarrow like
Wheelbarrow.
ferry water. But then we could not do that because when we're leaving Providence Island, the security is on ground to make sure this is a no, so to not. So how to swiftly put that? Well, okay, let's go to PHP Park. That's where he was supposed to meet other creatives.
Mhm.
What's his name? Please.
Okay, yeah.
Made this whole arrangement and come cruise.
Yeah.
But before we could reach to PHP Park, Jesus, the whole crowd. I'm like, is this like a concert? This is supposed to be
Yeah,
something extremely,
because
smooth.
it was all
And
controllable at a
everybody,
point.
but then you could not bring the people because the location was already late and people are excited to
Yeah.
see this man. So we could not stop the PHP Park and we just had to pass through. Mind you, when we were passing through, I saw the crowd that was already coming. I'm like, we can't do anything about
No,
this.
you
So we
cannot.
just passed through. That did not really sit well with me because almost everybody
Yes.
were expecting to go with him in
Yeah.
that space. So then going to Iran,
Jesus.
that should have been a festival.
You guys had a long ride.
Yeah, that should have been a festival. But when we got there, the same thing, the same problem with the location
Yeah.
being leaked. That's why you saw the presentation of the food was done that way,
Mhm.
everything, because all the space that was set up, people already standing there or they're sitting there, you cannot take them from there. Because
Yeah.
if you're
And
like,
Liberians already have issues on their own.
yeah,
So
if you're like, oh, please excuse, we want to do this for what? I say I had to see the man, and you have to understand they're there because of him, not because of you as a person.
yeah.
But overall, my client was satisfied. I think he did a video some 2 weeks ago. He actually appreciated everything that was done for him in Liberia, and he recommended that he would talk to other people to be able to come to Liberia. And he loved everything that he experienced in Liberia, especially the incredible stuff that we had on the
Yeah,
place,
yeah.
the weaving,
Yeah.
teaching stuff was supposed to happen for them. It did not. So
I mean,
yeah, that's
you
what-
handled it well, honestly, because in that moment, no, we're doing that.
No,
My
we're not
producer
doing that.
wanna put me on the pedestal or some kind of thing. I'm not asking another question. Oh, Finny, you go ask us that. Yeah. But you handled it well. I'm not gonna lie to you, because from the moment I was not really following the entire stuff, and I think it was later on. I don't know what I was doing that day, but I was home. Yeah, no, I was home. I didn't go anywhere that day. It was later on that I saw all the different things. I was like, oh my God, Tusi is, because I saw how small you looked with everybody around. And I was like, oh my God. But you handled it very well. And I mean, that was a very proud moment for us as Liberians,
It was
as
for
people who
me
also
too.
know you. So that was really, really amazing to have done what you did. And that's cool. Now I'm going to be a little bit, not controversial, but I'm going to ask a little bit. Because after that, everybody having their own, views. Oh, you're not supposed to use that person, you're supposed to use that person. So how did you take all of those different comments from different people across the board who thought you were not to be, the person to tour Ashes Speed around? How did you feel about it? And how did you take all of those different comments?
Honestly, I am going to be not like to say I'm nonchalant,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
You didn't care?
I'm like, I was just told it like the day before Speed's arrival in Liberia that
Oh.
you are going to be the tour guide.
Oh, so you had that
So
plan.
I was not part of any of
Yeah.
the planning, any of this, any of that.
You were just
But then,
called.
because this is my job, what I requested was I'm going to be the tour guide for this person, and this person have over 50 million following. I will want to check in with some of the things we're doing, and they were really, really nice.
Yeah.
They took me to all the points, and they gave me the itinerary, which was really nice. So people talking on the internet like, "Oh, she was not supposed to be the person." You don't have sense more than the people that selected me.
Oh, period.
And if they did the selection and they thought I was the best person for it, that's because I'm doing something really good. You cannot talk about Liberia tourism currently
Without
counting
mentioning- yeah.
Tuesday and Africa.
Yeah.
And for the kind of tourism thing I do, it actually it's not something like the regular web. You see everybody doing content and stuff. Because when I was doing my master, I actually had a serious struggle with getting anything on the internet for Liberia.
Oh.
I think people have that problem.
Yes.
So when you go on the
That's a
internet,
major
one of
problem.
the things that kept coming up for our country was the Ebola, then the civil war. You always
Oh,
get
Jesus.
data
Yeah.
on those ones, and maybe other chaotic things that happen.
Yes.
So I'm like, that was in 2020 actually, when I was trying to get prepared to do my project, my senior project.
Mhm.
So I was struggling for which topic to use. And I'm like, everything I'm looking for is not, on the internet. So what do I do? So I'm like, okay, I will do something on cohesion, which is like basically bringing people
Yeah.
together, understanding the different cultures and stuff. And by the time I was already to drafting my research question, I'm like, since I'm already doing thesis in this and I have to travel from here to here to here, let me see the different cultures that are in Liberia because I'm Madigo. I don't know any other culture,
Yeah, outside
outside
of
that,
your
apart from maybe the parts of I grew up in more parts of people and Crew people. So I wouldn't know that about Liberia technically. So when I started my project and then I started reading, I realized we have a lot in common, all the cultures in Liberia.
Mhm.
We have a lot in common. Maybe we just differ on petty
just
things.
petty things.
So I'm like, okay. So I reached out to, I think I should just go on it. In 2020, I reached out to Cornelia. I'm like, I think I want to, YouTube. So she's
Yeah.
like, what do you want to do the YouTube in? I'm like, just showcasing Liberia and the different cultures and the lifestyle of our people. If as like she did not say you can do it, she said you are very good at storytelling,
Mhm.
and this is going to be something you try and go for it. From 2020, I did not start. I'm more. I like to play around. So
Yeah.
like I was just like, in case I start, there are other people doing it, they're doing it better than me.
Yes.
What if people
So
don't
you
like?
needed to find your
Yeah.
niche,
What if people don't like what I'm doing? So from 2020 up until 2023, when I went back to Nairobi, that was when I was able to find out what I really want to do because tourism is a broad field
Yeah.
and you have to find your niche.
Mhm.
And when I was able to find what I wanted to do, that's how I started tourism. So in 2022, my friend Blessing did a video for me at Vibes. I posted that video, and that was where all the fear went away because that was the first video. I edited it. Everybody went, "Oh, this is nice. You should go for it."
Oh, okay.
Even though the comments were not many, but just that 8 comments, I saved the video and I screenshotted all the comments because the day I make it, I will go back
So
to
that
that
was
video
the
and say, these are the
beginning.
people that
Yeah.
pushed me along with Cornelia. So when I went back to Nairobi, I'm like, okay, this is something that is going to work for Liberia. We have a very unique story, but we don't tell more about the country we are, the people we are, our
Yeah.
food, our lifestyle. But if we start doing it now, people are going to remember there's a country called Liberia. We are the
Mhm.
oldest. We have all the history of almost all the African presidents. You can name from
Yes.
Nelson Mandela,
Yes.
Kwame Nkrumah,
Yeah.
what his name, Sekou Ahmed Toure. All these
Toure.
people they passed right through
Mhm.
Liberia, and Liberia was like the bearer for all African leaders at the time. So why are we not putting our stories out there? So I'm like, okay, I will do my first video. I did my first video in Nairobi Museum, the National Museum. And when I went there, what is my country thing doing in East Africa?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so the normal country.
No.
So that was just it for me. So for the people that are like, oh, she could not deserve, I'm like, okay, at least I know I'm supposed to improve because it's okay to take criticism.
Oh yeah.
Because if you don't get no feedback and you feel like you're doing the best. So some
Yeah.
of those people that were saying it, some of them I read them in it.
Yes.
Especially there was a lady that said, I don't think I remember her name, but she kept tagging me. So she's like, you can do this. Her last post was, you can do this. And when I went through it, I actually like,
So those were like cool recommendations at
yeah,
least.
but first she was harsh, and I
You
was still
see?
reading them though. But then
Yeah.
when we reached the point, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do this, and that was something I incorporated in my first trip we did last year, and there was a difference from the things we did last year as to Zealand Africa. So like they helped, but then for some of them I really didn't like it. Because I
Yeah.
knew some of them, the comments were coming from a place of
When I say exactly. So Tusi and a Freak is here. And she always has different tours. Unfortunately for me, I always have available to go. I can always work but I will make sure I go one of these days. Especially we have anything coming up for Tuesday and a Freak.
yes, we are going to Grand Cape Mount to
Okay.
Nana's Lodge. Nana Lodge is a Liberian business. I want to say that because
I
we
don't know
have
about that because I've been there a couple of times. I didn't know it
it's a
was owned
Liberian
by,
business. They
by
actually
Liberian.
play for the Lone Star alongside ex-president George Weah.
Oh.
His name is Musa Shana. So
Okay.
it's one of the oldest actually resorts in Liberia. I think it's over 10 or 15
Yeah,
years
it's
now.
old.
Yeah,
old.
so we're going to Nana Lodge, and the trip is $90. It covers your accommodation, your transportation, your dinner, your breakfast, your souvenir, and activities on the trip.
When is it?
March 28th and we come back the 29th. So it's 2 days, 1 night.
Okay. Now let's go to your appointment. A few more years, but anyways, so Tulsi was appointed, on the president's advisory board. Is that council? How is it called?
Youth Advisory Council.
Youth Advisory Council. And oh yeah, everybody was like, "Oh, okay, congrats." And let me tell you one thing, right? So when I actually saw that, I had a conversation, I think it was in passing with one of my colleagues, and I was like, "Why did they send Tulsi to the Liberia Tourism Authority?" That was like a comment that I made right after I saw, the appointment. I was like, because she's really good at that. But then again, I remember that, oh no, but Tuti has been around. So she knows exactly what are some of the things that young people would need and some of the struggles that young people go through on a daily basis. So now that you're there, what's new and how has it been? Honorable.
No,
Honorable
yeah, he's an
Tusi
honorable
to it.
name, application, like honorable name. So 2 things happened,
Uh-huh.
and I can just say that God and good people, right?
Mhm.
Not in my wildest dream. I knew that I am going to serve in leadership position someday, but for it to be given.
Yeah.
So I was out at a friend's wedding. I do videos too, and I was doing that person video. That was where I got done with the video. I went to stay with my cousin
Mhm.
at the same facility. And then while waiting for the next client to give me my confirmed date of their own event, that was when I saw the post on Facebook. So like,
Oh.
and then trying to read it, I'm like, this cannot be true. So I gave it to my cousin to read it.
Yeah.
When she read it, she said, yeah,
Wow.
please, oh."
So you were caught off guard.
So I said, no, it can't be true, man. So we went through it. Like I read that stuff more than 2
Over and over
times and to confirm that it was actually something legit. But then I was forgetting that it was the executive
Yes,
mansion.
executive. But you were right though, because they have like different pages on the social media bearing different government agencies'
Yeah.
names and all that, and they're not real. So
So when I saw it, I reached out to, I will not call her name, but she is somebody that really look out for me a lot.
yeah.
And then I reached out to her, I said, oh, it happened. I just started sending stickers to her. And then she's like, congratulations, going safe well. But prior to going to the Youth Advisory Council,
Mhm.
one thing that has been on my mind is actually when do we get to the point where creatives are monetized?
Mm-hmm.
Because in Nairobi, content creators end up having like just a 10K
10,000
following.
followers.
They're making good amount of money.
See?
Even if it is not 1,000, at least they're looking forward
Yeah.
to get 500
Yeah.
in a month. If you bring that same thing in Liberia where young people are making at least 250 up from
That's
250 to 500,
empowerment.
that is some way somehow empowering the young people.
Mhm.
Then you will not see people coming every day to minister office or representative office or to someone at business to be asking for
Yeah.
little or time. So people will try now to tap into their creative side and see what they can do. And there are so many people that are very, very creative in Liberia,
Oh yeah.
from the comedian
A
to the
lot.
musician to the talk show host. I know the guys somebody that will not only listen to, but
Yeah.
to be honest, if these people were monetized, that would be something that will, at least lessen the burden on government and other people that are doing employment. Because you got people making 125 per month, and I have to go to work from
Oh, your
first
your
to the
salary will
31st.
finish
All my
happy.
salary. So if I'm a creative and I'm making something for my social media, I'm only taking that job to be disciplined professionally and learn a couple of things. So on the Youth Advisory Council, one
Have
of the
you-
things
have
I've been
you-
championing
Okay,
is
great.
for us to please get the creatives monetized.
And how has that been received?
Oh, it happened. So when we had a meeting with the Minister of State, Minister Steve Sikwa, I don't know how to call that last name still, so I'm sorry. And he actually took it in very good faith, and the recommendations we made, other council members too, they're really supporting it. And the council is not just one person.
Yeah.
I like to make emphasis on that.
Yeah.
We have the motorbike councilman. His name is Alexia. He's doing very well in trying to change the mindset of his people, because I did not know there was someone on the council that was serving in that capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the people from Linsu, the MRU, the chairman Amendela, who is They're very, very easy to work with. It's like when you say chairman, you have to be working around your edges. But then Mandela is this person that, okay, we are going to do it this way, like pay everybody attention. So when I made my recommendation on that, it was receiving good faith. And then the second one is tourism. That is my interest
Okay.
to see how there can be a lot of partnership and collaboration with local tour operators and tour guides and the LTA to see how we can foster a community of I say
Yeah.
qualified tourism sector, because when people come to Liberia, it's not just because they want to come to Liberia. They want to see good things. They want to experience what they're not experiencing in other places, so that they can make recommendation for people to come to Liberia.
So you had, I wouldn't say you had, but you have a couple of I promised myself other people to look up with
No,
you.
please be.
No, I don't want to go so much so. But when you had this thing about the president's youth advisory council, it is a whole thing, by the way, because you need youth representation, especially given that our population, I mean, a huge percent is
70%.
exactly 70%. Imagine that. So, like, with the young people, would take almost the whole country, 100%. So people were actually thinking that maybe this is just an abstract thing where you have it as the Youth Advisory Council, where you have just maybe members of Unity Party, members of maybe civil society organizations and other people, and they're just there for the name of it. But then they're not going to get the actual realization of, yes, we are being represented by our fellow young people and all that. So that was one of the things I've been discussed in different corridors. And I was like, I cannot say you shouldn't be saying that. But again, I think politically in this country, people have like different views. So we need to talk to people who are on the board, people who are part of the members of the council, to tell us more about how effective is this going to be. Because the president is in office since 2026. We have 2027, 2028, up to 2029. So are we going to see, these different recommendations or these different suggestions that you guys are taking to the council? Because there are different members, by the way. You're there and you're talking about tourism, you're talking about creatives, which is very important because you have Nana in, like, we're almost everybody into content creation, and people want to be able to cash out. So that is a very good recommendation. So the question is, at what point do we get to realize these different things that you guys are suggesting, inviting the president to do?
Okay, so like the council is 7,
Okay.
and
Along with the chairman?
yes, along
Oh,
with the chairman.
okay.
And
7.
each council member comes from different organizations.
Mhm.
So for LINSU, we have Washington,
Yeah.
who is championing the cause of
The
all the
students.
students. And if you follow Councilman Chips Washington, you will see he have a couple of things he's been doing in the student community. Like recently, there was a dispute inventor that he literally had to Monrovia to go and settle. There are things for the council we do not go into.
Yeah.
We're there to advise and give
Yeah.
recommendation. So, and then for what's his name from the MRU,
Yeah, the Honorable,
Honorable Daniel
yeah,
Nims. If you go to his office, technically right now we literally rely on him for a couple of things that happen around us. So they're in their own way they're doing different things.
Mhm.
The reason why I am championing creatives and tourism, because I'm the only person that's not from any organization.
yes.
So I believe what I am doing is going to be in the interest of me, and then many people I know that it can help some way
Mhm.
somehow. So they have been making a lot of recommendations, like they did the was it the literacy program
Yeah.
that last time I was down in France, so I can speak to that.
Yeah.
And we have the president of town hall coming up this year. I hope I'm praying that it is going to be different this time around,
Yeah.
where young people have time to actually ask the questions
More.
they have asked and get to know some of the projects that are happening around that they can be able to tap into. And then we have someone that is on TVET matters, like the YMCA. So now there are a couple of things that I just joined the council. I can ask people
Let's
things
speak
that
to
happen.
things that happened prior to.
So I can only speak to things that I'm going to be able to work along the other council member with. But there are a couple of advice they've given that is going to actually come to life. I can assure you that. Some of them are actually happening currently, but nobody will know it is the Youth Advisory Council because we
Yeah.
are not supposed to.
Yeah, you just advise
Yeah.
you. So you gotta tell us that. I mean, they won't say that.
Mhm, yeah.
You know, obviously. So if you're just joining us, you're listening to Freedom 87.9 FM, and of course, we're still here on Women's Spotlight. Mariama Tusi Toure is here with us, and we're having a conversation. In fact, not an interview. So we're going to do a very short break and listen to words from our sponsors, Crime Stoppers Liberia. And after that, we're going to climax today's conversation. And I'm playing this to say, do not take the laws into your own hands. We saw what happened to our Liberian brother in Ghana, Austin, and today you have, yeah, you have like everybody on the social media, and they're also, it is really, really unfair, honestly. And you also have some Ghanaians making some comments that are not sensitive enough. When a person dies in that minor, it is important for everybody to be empathetic, sympathetic, and be sensitive enough to, ask for justice to be served. So I'm also here again saying, please, I hope the authority, I'm told Greg is there already. I don't know if he's still there, but I'm really hoping that we're going to get to the bottom of this and the Liberians will be protected out there and not just in their own country. So to the very short break to be right back, and we're going to call it a day here.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to serve the source of vigilante style justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we have seen in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sion, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sion.
We want peace in Liberia. We want peace in Monrovia. That's words from Old Mr. Sion. He is fasting also. So Ziva, how you doing? I guess you're listening because you never miss any of our presentations or Women's Spotlight. So I have to say hello to you and have a nice time when you're ready to break your fast later on. So please dial *255*1# to play Freedom on Liberia Cash giveaway and use $100 or 50 cents USD and stand a chance to win from 5,000 Liberian dollars up to 25,000 Liberian dollars. So we still have Tusi here with us, and I think pretty much we've exhausted almost everything. But at this point now, I would like to know what are some of the challenges along the way so far with all of the things you were involved with. What are some of the major challenges, and what are the prospects as well?
So a challenge,
Yeah.
it is because when people have you up here,
You need to continue
you need
to be
to-
on that or exceed, in fact.
yeah. So especially with the tourism thing, people think it is bread and butter.
Mhm.
So what they don't understand, it is real hard labor because everybody experience depends on you.
Yeah.
And one flop
Oh,
could cause a whole
Jermaine.
lot, and maybe people will not even could show up to anything you're doing. So today, before coming here, I went for some stakeholder meeting with the Liberian National Tourism Authority, and we channeled some of our concerns and some of the challenges we're faced with. But then they're not the only people that are supposed to do everything.
Mhm.
So especially with transportation, we have serious problem
Ooh.
with transportation, and you cannot blame the car renters because the roads are not fixed
Mhm.
up to standard. There are some roads that are fixed, and there are some that are not fixed, especially when you have to leave from the main city to go into a village. the road is not fixed. So when they charge you, by the time you finish taking transportation,
No money
out,
there. Except
there's
for
no
food.
money.
Oh, Jesus.
So you have to be doing it because you believe that someday you will get big and you will get paid. So technically now we're doing it for passion and to be patriotic,
Yeah.
tell our country story. Because if you're not telling your country story because of the challenges you're facing,
No one else.
so I'm not coming from America, I can't tell everyone the story. So we have challenges with logistics. Some of them have been made easier with. I'm going to actually shout out my partner. I don't know if I can do that.
Of
Am I
course.
allowed?
Go ahead.
So we are grateful to the NPA, the Liberian National Port Authority, through the office of the MD. He has been one of his administration and his entity has been one of the reason why we're able to stay afloat. Because if we do not have sponsors, you know go better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also to Yanjing, my friend Malum there, Malum has been able to help us too, some way, somehow coming in for us. But we need more for the kind of things we do and for the kind of business we are in. We need more than that. And to the partners that we have been doing the business with, especially the library owned businesses, they
Mhm.
face the same challenge like us. And
Yeah.
you cannot beat them because
Small,
it is
small.
what it is. So I have a prospect, and I know that in the next 2 years, like last year, I was telling someone, I'm like, at the end of 2026, Liberia is not going to be the Liberia we knew.
Mhm.
Liberia is going to be recognized. I think you have been seeing it
Oh,
on the
yeah.
internet. A lot of creatives
Oh,
want to
yeah.
come to Liberia.
From
a lot of
TikTok
travelers want to
to
come to
yeah,
Liberia.
Facebook,
And it's
Instagram,
only going to
everywhere.
get better from here. So by the end of 2026, I don't think 2027 will be the little
Yeah.
Liberia will be the very big Liberia, the Liberia everybody wants to come and experience because we have a lot. We have Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, we have George, we have what's his name, Charles Taylor story to tap into because Sierra Leone is benefiting a
Yeah.
lot from the story of Charles Taylor
Mhm.
that we are while we are to tell our own stories. So we
Yeah.
have to actually tell our stories regardless of how bad they are and make money out of it because
Oh,
it is
period.
tourism.
Yeah. So before you go, what exactly would you like to say to people who listened and our viewers as well? What would you like to say to them before you close?
Yeah, thank you for joining. Yeah. No, honestly, it's not easy for you to just stay by the radio or maybe by your phone to listen for 1 hour.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that get easily distracted. I don't even stay on my phone for more than 5 minutes or I trying to do something
Yeah.
else. So if somebody is able to steal for an hour, you need to tell them thank you. Thank you so much for joining. And please, my business name is Tuzi on Afrik. Don't follow me. I want you to follow my business now because I need all the support I can get for that business. And we have the Youth Council page. It's the Liberian National Youth Council. It's on Facebook. You can follow us there and get regular updates and even send some recommendations to your council members so that they're able to present them to the people that need to receive them. Thank you to Alexia for having me. I really appreciate this.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And I had a good time with you. So I look forward to you being here on another day as well.
I'll be open anytime.
Okay.
Nyash, invest, and Tumba, activity, no respect for woman around so you're just getting closer. I choose to focus on the positivity, focus on the strengths, focus on the capabilities. My aim, that's the ultimate Liberian girl. There's no language in the drill, straight to winning the bell. Yeah. From prison to president, the biggest role model for a girl. She's an elegant, Julia Howard Taylor, my vice president. Sarah Benson, that's the leader of the foreign cabinet. I'm talking about a girl, nigga. I'm talking about the minister that got the fire with my crush. Social media, CIA, your husband's so very lucky. And soon will be the nigga who will marry black coffee. Let me tell you, we might not see eye to eye, but if you spell where I get for you, it's full of every job. Despite all the negativity and attacks on your family, you show maturity and left the whole chaos family. I see a nature out there doing the thing. My real G, one of the most beautiful that I've seen. And Fluxy, yeah, what can I say? The devil tried to steal your joy, but you were trying to place. Cornelia and Mariah are on opposite sides, but I respect the both of them the way they fight and the fire. My girl Tuesday is a inspiration. An example of what happens when focused on dedication. Sandra Olu, Moses sister, and hell of an influencer. And Williamina Brown should be the next Miss Liberia. Master Queen, you have left a legacy. Now continue by election, people just some empty. And Prophet will do you, I let them do the pudding, kill me, and so we will live never you really see that we are barely. And Valley believe me, I appreciate your good heart, respect the wisdom, I've seen it from out the my real G, one of the most beautiful that I've seen. And flat season. Yeah, recognize it.
We've had a good time here on Women's Spotlight. And the song you're listening to, and song I just played, and it's still playing. It is a freestyle, in fact, by Mr. Church. And this song is dedicated to all of us. My name is mentioned. Tuzi was here earlier on. Her name is also mentioned. So he mentioned a lot of us.
Now continue by Alexa P. Just MC. And Prophet will do you, I let
We mentioned a lot of us in this song. Some of the brightest, and I don't know how to say it, some of the brightest, educate